Welcome back, coin enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of United Kingdom coins, focusing on the top 3 most valuable coins that every collector dreams of owning. We'll cover coins from the 50 pence to the 1 penny, highlighting different years, mint marks, and conditions that dramatically affect their value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this guide will give you insight into why these coins are so sought after and how their rarity can make them priceless in the right hands. Let's get started. First up, the United Kingdom 50 new pence coin from 1978, specifically in circulated condition. Even though this coin is fairly common at first glance, there's a lot more beneath the surface. Its story, its design, the collector interest it still inspires, and what you can realistically expect it to sell for in today's auction market. So settle in, because this coin has a richer background and a more complex market value than many people think. To understand the 1978 50 new pence coin, we need to go back to the heart of the decimalisation era. The UK introduced decimal currency in 1971, shifting from the centuries-old pound shillings pence system to a cleaner and more modern structure. The 50p coin was one of the earliest decimal coins released, replacing the 10 shilling note. Its 7-sided shape wasn't chosen for looks, it was designed with an equidistant curve so machines could recognize it just like a round coin. Why 1978? The coin had already become a familiar part of everyday life. This was still the large-sized version of the 50p, significantly bigger and heavier than the modern coin we know today. The Royal Mint struck millions of these in the late 1970s, but each year's production carries its own nuance in availability, surviving condition, and collector interest. The 1978 issue became a quiet staple, common in pockets, cash registers, and coin jars all across the UK. What sets the 1978 50 new pence apart visually and structurally is its classic large-size heptagonal design, 30mm in diameter and made of cupronickel. On the obverse, you'll find the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Arnold Machin. It's one of her most iconic renditions, showing her wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara with a calm, youthful profile that defined British coinage for nearly 2 decades. The reverse features a seated Britannia holding a shield and olive branch, an image symbolic of British strength and peace. Designed by Christopher Ironside, this reverse was one of the last in circulation before later commemorative 50p designs began replacing it. All these elements make the coin historically charming, especially for collectors who appreciate pre-1997 large 50p issues that no longer appear in change today. Now, let's get real about rarity. The 1978 50 new pence is not a rare coin in its circulated state. The Royal Mint produced millions of them, and a large number survive even today in coin collections, heirloom jars, and old drawers. However, what affects its desirability is the condition. Since most examples have been well used, many show scratches, dings, metal discoloration, or surface wear. Collectors generally prioritize higher-grade pieces, meaning circulated and especially damaged coins hold minimal numismatic value. Still, people do look for this coin for album completion, especially those building full decimal-era collections or those fascinated by the now discontinued large-size 50p series. So, while demand exists, it's moderate and mostly from newer collectors, history enthusiasts, or people seeking nostalgic coins from the late 20th century. Let's break down the numbers. In today's auction market, both online and small-scale local auctions, the 1978 UK 50 new pence in circulated condition typically sells for around $431,000 depending on the level of wear. Examples with heavy damage, corrosion, or deep scratches often fall to the lower end or struggle to sell at all unless bundled with other coins. However, nicer circulated examples, those with lighter wear and a readable shine, may reach the upper end of this range. Only coins in extremely high grades, such as uncirculated or mint state, climb into more attractive value territory, often reaching several dollars. But for circulated 1978 pieces, keep expectations modest. If you're looking to collect or sell this coin, here are a few helpful pointers. Check for condition carefully. Even small differences in wear can affect desirability. Clear details on Britannia and minimal discoloration are positives. Look for original surfaces. Coins that haven't been polished or cleaned are far more appealing to collectors. Cleaning often reduces value. Consider grouping. Selling or buying this coin in lots can make transactions more worthwhile, especially if the piece is heavily circulated. Store properly. Even though it's inexpensive, protect it from moisture and rubbing to prevent further deterioration. Explore full sets. Many collectors enjoy building complete large-size 50p year sets. Your 1978 coin fits perfectly into those. The United Kingdom 50 new pence from 1978 isn't a rare treasure in circulated condition, but it holds a strong place in British currency history. Its bold design, its role in the early decimal era, and the nostalgia attached to the larger pre-1997 style make it a fun and meaningful addition to any collection. While its market value remains modest, especially in worn or damaged states, it's still a coin worth appreciating, especially for those who collect with passion rather than profit alone. Next up, the United Kingdom 1 penny from 1935, examined in fine circulated condition. Although millions were made, this particular coin holds a unique place in the collector world due to its age, design, and the stories tied to King George VI's final years of reign. If you're curious about its rarity, how collectors view damaged or worn pieces, and what it may fetch in the auction market today in US dollars, stay tuned as we break it all down in detail. The 1935 1 penny belongs to the last period of coin struck under King George V, who ruled from 1910 until his passing in early 1936. His coinage represents the end of the pre-decimal era's early 20th century designs, produced by the Royal Mint at a time of economic recovery and global political tension. The penny itself was part of Britain's traditional bronze coinage, introduced in the late 19th century and struck for everyday use across the empire. The year 1935 was not a particularly low mintage year, but it stands out because it sits between two significant chapters in monarchy: the steady closing years of George V and the turbulent succession events of 1936 involving Edward VIII and George VI. Every surviving 1935 penny is a small artifact of an era just before dramatic changes in the United Kingdom and the world. The obverse of the 1935 penny features the well-known portrait of King George V, designed by Sir Bertram Mackennal. In fine condition, the portrait may show noticeable but even wear, with softened details around the beard, crown, and facial features. Even so, the overall profile remains distinct and recognizable. On the reverse, Britannia sits proudly holding a trident and shield, a symbol of Britain's maritime power. In fine condition, the trident prongs, folds in Britannia's gown, and shield lines will show circulation wear, yet the key design elements remain clear. Struck in bronze, the coin has a wide, satisfying diameter of 30.8 mm, giving it a solid presence compared with modern pennies. Collectors appreciate its classic design, patina variations, and the traditional craftsmanship of early 20th century Royal Mint production. Although the 1935 penny is not considered rare in general, its collectability depends heavily on condition. Coins in fine condition like the one we're focusing on are still common enough, but they attract steady demand because they offer a good balance between affordability and historical charm. That said, many 1935 pennies are found in damaged condition, whether bent, heavily corroded, holed, or severely worn. While these do survive in large numbers, collectors usually value them significantly less. They may still be purchased for sentimental reasons, for beginners' collections, or for historical displays, but they are not considered investment-grade pieces. What adds some appeal even to worn or damaged specimens is their connection to King George VI's final issue years, giving them an emotional and historical resonance beyond their metal value. When it comes to auction value, the price of a 1935 penny in fine circulated condition is generally modest but stable. Typical selling prices range from $433,000 depending on eye appeal, patina, and overall evenness of wear. Examples with particularly attractive natural toning, or those preserved with fewer blemishes, can at times reach $114,000, especially when sold in lots or through collectors seeking specific dates to complete their George V penny sets. Coins in damaged condition usually sell for under $123,000, often grouped with bulk lots of pre-decimal copper coins. While not a high-value rarity, the 1935 penny maintains a consistent market presence and continues to be a popular date for new collectors entering British numismatics. If you're looking to collect or upgrade a 1935 penny, here are some helpful pointers. Focus on eye appeal even in fine condition. A coin with original color and minimal spotting stands out from others. Check for structural issues. Avoid pieces with corrosion, bending, holes, or deep scratches. These dramatically reduce value. Buy from reputable sellers. Auction sites and coin dealers often list these pennies, but always study the photos carefully. Consider long-term sets. Building a full run of King George V pennies from 1911-1936 can make the 1935 date more meaningful in the context of a complete collection. Handle with care. Even circulated bronze coins can tone unevenly if exposed to moisture, oils, or PVC plastics. Store them properly in non-reactive holders. The United Kingdom 1 penny from 1935 may not be a rare treasure, but it remains a beautiful, historic, and accessible piece of the British monetary past. In fine condition, it offers collectors a well-preserved example of classic early 20th century design and craftsmanship. Though its monetary value is modest, its historical significance and charm continue to make it a beloved choice among numismatists. Whether you're just beginning your collection or adding depth to an existing set, the 1935 penny is a meaningful reminder of Britain's pre-decimal era and the final legacy of King George V. Next up, United Kingdom numismatic history, the 1969 50 pence coin. While this coin may show signs of wear and be in less than ideal condition, it carries historical significance and collector interest that cannot be ignored. In this video, we will explore its background, unique features, rarity, current market value in dollars, and share some tips for collectors who are considering acquiring one. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or just beginning your coin collection journey, this video will provide valuable insights into the world of UK coins. The 50 pence coin was first introduced to the United Kingdom in 1969, replacing the 10 shilling note as part of the decimalisation process, which simplified the British currency system. This coin is notable for its distinctive equilateral curved heptagon shape, which was designed to be easily recognisable by touch and visually distinct from other coins. The 1969 edition holds particular importance as it was among the first series of 50 pence coins minted for general circulation. Despite its practical purpose, it has now become a collectible item, reflecting an era of monetary transition in British history. The 1969 50 pence coin is striking in both design and composition. Made of cupra nickel, it has a weight of 13.5 grams and a diameter of 30.8 millimeters. The obverse features the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin, a depiction that was standard for coins during that period. On the reverse, you will find the crowned British coat of arms, a detailed and symbolic design representing the United Kingdom's heritage. What makes the 1969 issue particularly interesting to collectors is the combination of its early minting date and unique heptagonal shape, which set it apart from later 50 pence coins. Even in bad condition, these features are still identifiable and add to the coin's historical appeal. One might assume that coins in poor condition are of little interest, but the 1969 50 pence coin proves otherwise. Early editions like this are increasingly rare, as many have been lost, melted down, or worn beyond recognition over the decades. Coins with scratches, discoloration, or other damage may not fetch as high a price as pristine examples, but they are still sought after by collectors who are interested in filling gaps in their collections or completing a chronological series. The demand is particularly notable among UK coin collectors and numismatists who value historical significance over perfect condition. Because this coin represents one of the first decimal 50 pence coins, even a well-worn example holds a story of Britain's monetary evolution that resonates with collectors worldwide. Now, let's talk about the market value. A 1969 50 pence coin in bad condition typically sells for a modest amount compared to mint condition examples. As of 2025, auction listings and collector sales show that these coins in heavily circulated or damaged condition usually range between $316,000 depending on the severity of wear and the presence of any unique marks or errors. It's important to note that the market can fluctuate based on collector demand, auction trends, and rarity of surviving examples. While this might seem modest, it represents a tangible entry point into the world of collecting historic British coins without breaking the bank. For collectors interested in the 1969 50 pence coin, a few key tips can help you make informed choices. First, always verify the authenticity of the coin before purchasing, especially when buying online or from secondary markets. Second, examine the coin closely for unique minting errors or unusual features, as these can significantly increase its value, even in bad condition. Third, consider the context of your collection. If your goal is to complete a full series of 50 pence coins, even a damaged 1969 coin is a valuable piece that fills an important historical slot. Lastly, store your coins properly, even if they are worn, to prevent further deterioration and maintain their collectible appeal. In conclusion, the 1969 United Kingdom 50 pence coin is much more than just a worn piece of metal. It is a tangible link to the early days of Britain's decimal currency system, and even in bad condition, it carries historical and collectible significance. From its unique heptagonal shape and intricate design to its role in numismatic history, this coin offers both educational value and entry-level collecting opportunities. Whether you are just starting your coin collection or seeking to add a rare early decimal coin to your series, the 1969 50 pence is worth your attention. Remember, every coin tells a story, and this one tells a story of change, history, and enduring fascination among collectors around the world. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more coin collecting insights.